Alright, I recently found this game, Melvor Idle. Um, I actually put quite a few hours into it before deciding to make a series on it, since there doesn't seem to be a whole lot on YouTube right now for it when I was looking. So I'm going to make two different characters, two different series. One will be a normal account, which we're going to start now, and one will be a hardcore combat only account. So if you've never seen this game, it is you'll see a lot of similarities to uh, old school RuneScape. It's basically old school RuneScape, the mobile game or the idle game. So we'll start off by creating a character, and they have little pop-ups that come up for each skill. If you're unfamiliar with them, I'm gonna go into settings first and change a bunch of stuff to the way I found I like it. And then we will get started. So first thing is to figure out what you want to do to start off. On this account, I have decided I will be doing fishing first. There's quite a few viable starting routes, I guess you could say, on this game. A lot of people like to start mining because you will then be able to do smithing quickly after. I tried this route on the first account I made, and it was not great just because it takes a long time to mine, and it's not the greatest money out there until after you smith everything. And you really need money early on. As you can see, we start with just 12 bank slots, and you can of course buy more. And you of course also need gold for various skilling upgrades. So we are going to start off fishing. As for every other skill, why I don't want to start it, I'm not going to start combat on this one because you cannot idle offline combat, and I am going to have a second account which will be doing only combat, and you'll be able to see that in the other series that I make. So all of that is out. I'm not going to be doing wood cutting first because it takes up quite a bit of bank space, and you don't really want to sell all of the logs. You kind of want to use them for fire making and fletching. So it's not the greatest money, and our objective to start off is to get some money. Um, you fishing and cooking, of course, are locked behind woodcutting and fishing, respectively, unless you're going to go kill mobs or something to get drops to level them. Mining and smithing, I already went over why I don't want to start with those. Thieving, you kind of really want to have auto eat one at least before you start thieving. Farming is great to start doing as early as possible, but it takes up a lot of uh, bank slots and for all of the seeds and all of the products, and you're going to end up doing herb lore immediately after you start farming because they're kind of tied together. So you kind of want to have some money to buy some bank slots first. One of the best things you can do very early on is get your mining and smithing to 40 and your crafting to 10 to make a item called, let's see where it's at, to make the gold topaz ring, because that will give you a chance to get a piece of what is called the signet ring. And you have to get one piece from scaling and one piece from combat to make a pretty good end game um, ring. And I'm not too worried about it because you will end up with a lot of them of the signet halves by the time you're done skilling completely. So I'm not too worried about starting it straight away, and we are going to eventually get a fishing ring anyway, so we'll want to use that while we're fishing. So fishing seems like the best place to start. Rune crafting, crafting you need a lot of money for. Rune crafting, you kind of need to have already done quite a bit of mining. If you want to be efficient, you want to start rune crafting after you've done the post 99 mining, because you don't want to mine rune essence until after you have fully maxed out mining to get the mining skill cape. We will be doing a little bit of mining in between episodes just to get pure rune essence eventually, because I am going to go from doing fishing to eventually doing thieving to do farming and herb lore at the same time. So I'll need a rune essence for the um, weird gloop that you get for that, which you can get in the shop right down here. But you need 10 rune essence for every one, so I will be mining a little bit of that, but that'll be the only thing I do other than fishing. And first we're going to do fishing all the way to well past 99. You get quite a bit of fish from it. I'm not too worried about the bank slots for fishing because I'm going to be selling everything until significantly later into the fishing grind. I'm not too worried about it because once you get the skill cape, you will always get 2 fish, and you also get a chance for based off of the quantity. You will get the fishing skill cape always gives you 2. Once you get 99 mastery in one, you will also always get 2, so that'll double it up to 4 fish per. Once you get the fishing pet, you'll also have a 5% chance of getting double again, so you can be catching 8 fish at a time every time you fish, and you'll of course have no junk, so you will end up catching a lot more fish later on, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll just sell basically everything that I get early on to keep the bank space open. Eventually we will be fishing raw magic fish for quite a while because you cannot cook those and they will be our food to do thieving after fishing. Whales will be our main money maker. Magic fish give more money per, but we will want to be using those for food, and we will be selling quite a few whales. Eventually we will switch to using whales as our main food, but that'll be way later after we have maxed out cooking and got the 99 mastery on whales as well for cooking. So I will leave it here for now and pause the recording and come back once we get a little bit further into the fishing grind. All right, a bit of a jump forward. We're up to 8 fishing. As you can see, we get a bit of mastery levels quite a bit faster early on than fishing levels. And those mastery unlocks, of course, give you a better chance of collecting 2. Eventually, you get some better chance at special items, which actually isn't very good. But the big one is not catching any more junk at 65. So eventually we will want to stay on 1 fish, but for now it's better just to keep going up in experience rate. But as you can see, we're only 3 fish in, probably only about 10-15 minutes worth of play in, and we're already at 11 out of 12 on the bank. So it's time to go through and sell everything for the first time. And normally, most people would keep all of their raw fish for cooking, but later on you're going to be able to catch fish so much faster, both because of the cape's ability, which gives you double fish, and because in the shop you can buy the upgraded fishing rods, which decreases the interval between catching fish. So eventually you will have a pretty significant increase in your speed of catching. So it's pretty simple to just go back and refish all of these when you do the cooking grind. Most of your cooking experience is going to come from manta rays and eventually whales anyway. So it is not that big of a deal to sell all of these for some early gold. So that's what we're going to do first, is just sell everything except for the ropes. Because the ropes we can upgrade for free to bowstrings, and we will keep those for the eventual way down the line fletching. We'll just let those catch up and see how many we end up with at the end of all of our fishing. It'll be interesting to see just how many bowstrings we end up with. So we got 1200 gold from the first one, so we will go ahead and get a better fishing rod straight off the bat. And of course, everything in the Slayer area, it will be for once we start doing combat, so we can collapse that. The gloves are going to be very good for various skills. We will be buying a lot of the thieving, and when we do mining, we will be buying a lot of the gem gloves to make some extra money. Cooking gloves are alright when you first start cooking a new fish. Skill capes, once you get 99 to skill, you can get the skill cape and they give various bonuses. And down here is mostly farming and crafting supplies. You can buy your bowstrings as well from there. And we are going to go ahead and, because we hit level 10 fishing, we can buy the steel rod. And then we are just going to purchase bank slots with the remainder of our money. Which is the main reason why we're doing fishing, is to get a ridiculous number of bank slots and of course buy all of these extra purchasable upgrades. And now that we are able to, we will switch over to herring. And this account probably is not going to, or this character is probably not going to get a whole lot of videos made. It's not going to have a whole lot of updates. It's going to be pretty boring for a while as we just progress through all of the fish. The next video will probably be the Goblin Raid. We'll probably try that out. I actually haven't tried it at all yet. I haven't read any of this, so we will see what that is all about. Yeah, that is going to be about it for this first video on this series. Immediately after this, I'll be making another series on another character on this account, which will be a hardcore combat only character. So if you want more of the combat oriented stuff, that will be the place to be. That will also be a lot more active series. There will be a lot more videos to make on that. Alright, if you enjoyed watching the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you the next time.